نرجع معكم مشاهدينا حتى نتابع لقاءاتنا لليوم من يوم جديد، وبلقائنا التالي رح نتعرف على ديفيد بيرس يلي هو الليد سينجر بنو لونجر ميوزك، حتى نحكي عن نو لونجر ميوزك ونحكي عن الكونسرت يلي رح يقوموا فيه ويلي عم بيحضروا له حتى هيك يتعرفوا اكثر الشباب على طرق كثيره يتقربوا فيها من ربهم بس على طريقه الروك. You are welcome, David.
Thank you.
You are the lead singer of No Longer Music. If you want to talk, why do you call it No Longer Music?
Well,
why
because it's a show. It's not just music.
Okay.
So we do a lot of crazy things. So like, for example, in the beginning, we'll have the band in all this smoke, and there'll be a wall on the stage, and I'll be behind the wall so that the audience can't see me. And I have a chainsaw, and attached to the chainsaw is the microphone. So the band will be playing this kind of crazy ambient music. And then I start up the chainsaw, so it starts going through the microphone, you know, so it's like, and I start cutting through this wall, and then I come out to start the concert. So we do crazy stuff like that.
And you consider it normal? You told me it's normal stuff.
Well, it is normal, of course. And then we have a song, we've done the song that's against violence.
Yes.
And so the way that I demonstrate that is I shoot the band. So I shoot the guitarist, I shoot the drummer, I shoot the bass player, and then I shoot myself.
Yes.
And then this guy comes on the stage and ties ropes to the feet of the bass player, pulls him upside down, and he plays the next song hanging upside down. So we do a lot of crazy stuff. We use a lot of special effects. We have special light suits that we have designed for us, a lot of video, fire. So it's really a show. And I think it's quite interesting.
It's normal also.
Oh, it's normal, of course.
David, if we want to talk about university students that come and see this sort of show,
yes.
And you are into festivals, into clubs, and you consider it as a rock band at the same time.
Right.
So for these university students, they are normal university students, they are like believers, like only believers. How do you consider your audience?
Oh, our audience is basically people that go to concerts, people that go to festivals. And the purpose of our band is a lot of people don't feel like they have meaning, you know, like their life is not important. I can remember actually this one university student that was attacked by a shark.
Yes.
And almost died. And in the newspapers, she talked about how she was worried about the shark. And like she had no more value than the shark. And of course, I think that the animals are important, but I believe that we are made in the image of God. And so when I go around this beautiful city of Beirut and I see all the people here, you know, when I go to the center of the city and there's so much art and creativity and passion here in the city, and it's because people here are made in the image of God, and that is really important to us.
So if we want to talk about the main message from your band, what is the main message?
Well, the beginning of our show is just entertaining. So we do a lot of crazy things, and we involve the audience, and then it turns into a love story, and it's a story about a father's love for his daughter. But his daughter turns away from his protection. And she ends up being hurt by this boy and abused by this boy, and we show this on stage. And then we show how the father comes to rescue her from this bondage that she's come under because of the choices that she's made. But it's a bigger story than that. It's actually a story about the Creator. You know, a lot of people have the idea that God is an impersonal life force if he exists, or if he does exist, that he's just angry, you know, and he's just trying to get us to do all these things, and maybe he will love us. But what our message is that God is a father who loves us, you know, and that he cares about us.
I will translate a little bit for our audience. فإذا No Longer Music هي باند بنعتبرها روك باند فيها تكون لكل طلاب الجامعيين يلي مش بس ممكن يكونوا من المؤمنين، لكل الطلاب كل الشباب فيهم يكونوا بهيدا الشو حتى يشوفوا هالشو يلي ببلش بالبداية بطريقة فيها هيك نوع من أفكار جديدة بتهم الشباب، وبالبارت الثاني بيكون في فكرة ثانية هي للإيمان، للدعوة للإيمان ممكن أكثر ولا حب ومعرفة الله أكثر. والفكرة هون من يعني بهيدا الشو يلي رح نحكي عنه إنه هي فكرة والد وبنته كيف ممكن يقربها أكثر لفكرة الله. So if we want to talk about unusual things that you already you are doing in your show and you meet when you are throughout your shows in different countries.
Yes.
How do you see things that you could describe unusual?
Well, it's amazing. Like I was just in Madrid in Spain, and I talked to a girl there, and she was, you know, she was going to university there, but really seeking, and really, she had this idea. She's been hurt by religion. I think many people have. Yes. And so she was desperate, though, to know the truth. And she went to Amsterdam, and she was in her room, and Jesus came to her in her room and said, I am the truth that you're looking for. And this is amazing. And I've seen this here in Beirut. I know a guy here who's studying to be a physicist, and he was an atheist because he's been hurt, you know, because so many people have used religion to hurt people. And so, again, he was crying out to this God he didn't believe in. And he told me that Jesus himself came to him and put his hand on his shoulders, and he felt this love like he didn't know existed. And that's part of the message, is that even though the world has become polluted, you know, when you're in a sewer, it's hard not to get dirty from it. And because God is pure, you know, he's holy, and we can't be in his presence. And because God is a good father, he knew that we couldn't change our circumstances. He sent Jesus to make it possible for us to know God again. And because Jesus was willing to die in my place because of the death sentence that was over my life, the spiritual death sentence, I can be made alive again. You know, and Jesus is the only one who came back to life. And that's why I am passionate about this message.
Sometimes when we talk about rock and when we talk about normal music, some parents doesn't approve that their kids go into rock music. When we talk about rock music and belief and God and things, how does it match? And how could we say to the parents that this could be a concert for your university students, for your kids, for everybody, for our young people to come and know God through rock music?
Oh, because of what happens as a result. I mean, again, I was speaking at another television station here in Beirut, and after my interview, a guy came up to me and he said, "What you said about Jesus, it's so true. I was trapped. You know, I was suicidal, and I was heavily into drugs, and I cried out to God if he was there to show me the truth." And he had the same experience that this girl in Madrid had, and his whole life was changed. And so that's what I would say to the parents, is that the fruit of it is why they should encourage their young people to come to our concert, because of what happens in their lives, how they're set free.
How God is into your music and into these shows that you are making now?
How does he enter into our music?
Yes.
Well, it's all about communicating this message, and so that's why we use a lot of visuals to do that. But we start by just showing the cry that's in people's hearts. You know, so many people feel trapped. So part of the intro to our second half of our show is, as I say, the world wants to put you in a cage like a rat. You know, because that's how many people feel. They feel trapped. You know, they feel like they're just in this, like a rat in a cage, going around and around in a circle. And then I talk about how it's time to break out of this cage. It's time to be free, that we weren't created for this, you know, that we're important. And because of what Jesus did, the fact that he's not just another religious system, which a lot of people have made him into, but because he really is alive, it's possible to know God again, because the most normal thing in the world is to have a relationship with God. And that's what we're all seeking. You know, that's that emptiness, you know, that so many people have. It's because they are spiritual. They're not just physical beings. And that is what is so important to us.
When we talk about music, it could be international, and this international sort of communication could be into your music and into your shows. How do you communicate this type of music in Lebanon, in Madrid, in Amsterdam, in America? So how does it belong and became international?
Well, today we live in the day of the internet. And so there's this global youth culture. And you find them in every urban center around the world. I mean, you find them here. I mean, in Beirut, it's like I could be in Amsterdam. I could be in Chicago. You know, there's this because of the internet, because of globalization. There's a whole demographic of young, educated, young people who are listening to the same music, watching the same movies, playing the same video games. And so there's a unity in the world that like never before. And that's why you can communicate in a way that you couldn't before, because we have this similar language. And that's what's so exciting about the day we live in.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk a bit about your visit to Beirut. What are you preparing now, and what do you expect from Beirut now?
Well, I'm very excited about. I want to do a big concert in the center of the city, and make it like a unity concert. Have people from different neighborhoods in Beirut come together. Artists. I mean, this is such a creative, artistic city. When I first came here, I just was like so impressed with it, and I would like to have a festival where different artists from different neighborhoods come together to show that yes, we have our differences, but we are made in God's image, and we all are valuable. And I would like to also use it to raise money to support people who are suffering, especially in Syria. I think it would be a great thing if we could do something like that.
Mm-hmm. When we talk about societies like Syrian societies, like Lebanese society, it's like always tending for something better, tending for something more. So through music, how could you help them? How could you help us and our teenage who are coming to see your show or be a part of your show, and the Syrian society at the same time?
Yes, again, I don't think that music is going to, by itself, is going to change anything. Okay. You know, I don't think that's, but music can contain a message that can change us. And so I think that the way we can, you know, and again, I don't know all people's reality. All I can do is tell you that I believe that if you're desperate for truth, you can know God. And it's not by trying to do certain things. You know, a lot of people believe that you have to perform, you have to do certain things to be loved by God, but it's about receiving it. You know, it's like if I got knocked to the ground and I couldn't get up, and then someone reached their hand out to me to lift me up. All I need to do is be willing to lift my hand up and grab their hand, right? So that they could pull me up again. And that's how you can know Jesus. It's not about trying to be good. It's not trying to change myself. It's not, or anything like that. It's about putting your hand up, taking his hand, and letting him pull you up.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about Jesus, that Jesus is love, it's not hate.
Yes.
And some persons would see, like, if they had a certain problem, that Jesus no longer exists and
yes.
stuff. How could you talk to these persons? And you've met a lot.
Yes.
And Jesus may have changed their lives. So how could you talk to them through your music and through our interview now?
Yes, I would say to them that I know that the world is difficult, and I know that people watching this have gone through some really terrible things. And, you know, we live in a broken world. And that's why we need to know God, because how can we face a world like this without him? And he doesn't promise us that we won't go through difficult times. And as long as the world is the way it is, we have to go through difficult times. But he will be with us during those times. He can, even though we can be going through hard things, he promises to be there with us. And I have talked with people all over the world who can say that even when they've gone through these difficult times, that when they cried out to him, he was there with them, and he will help us go through these things, and he will give us what we need, and he will give us that joy and that peace that we're looking for.
Mm-hmm. We want to thank you, and we want to tell you that you are welcome in Beirut. You are staying till Sunday?
Yes.
And
actually Friday.
Friday.
No, or wait a minute, I don't know.
Okay, for 1 week from now.
A couple more days, yeah.
We want to thank you, and we will talk, we wish we will talk soon about the show that will happen in Lebanon.
Yes.
Because I think all young people would like to see this show and participate in your show.
Thank you, and tell them about our Arabic
It's nolongermusic.com/Arabic. أكيد بيكون مرق قدامكم لكل اللي حابين يتعرفوا أكثر على No Longer Music Band. فيكم باللغة العربية في هيدا السايت فيكم تطلعوا عليه وتتعرفوا أكثر على No Longer Music. فإذا هو nolongermusic.com/Arabic. بتتعرفوا أكثر على هالشقة. ديفيد بيرس, lead singer of No Longer Music, we want to thank you.
Thank you very
welcome
much.
for the second time in Lebanon, and the site is nolongermusic.com/Arabic. Thank you.
Thank you.